today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some ways that I've been using AI to streamline my tasks and to stay productive. One of the hardest parts that I found when it came to using AI was feeling like I had to have the perfect wording or the perfect phrasing. And what I found when I started using ChatGPT is as long as you can communicate somewhat effectively what it is that you're wanting ChatGPT to help you with, pretty much will get you in the ballpark of the type of answer that you're looking for. And the best part is you can keep refining that answer by adding and giving ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're using more information. And it'll keep refining that answer and getting it more dialed in and specific to what it is you're needing it to do. So yes, it can be super helpful to have a really dialed in prompt that you're asking AI, but at the end of the day, it really just boils down to as long as you can get your point across effectively, you're going to get the responses and answers that you need to basically do whatever it is that you're needing to do. And the great part about using AI tools, and especially ChatGPT, is that it's gathering information with every single prompt that you're putting in. You're feeding it information. So it's getting to know you and learn you, and it's learning how you speak, how you talk, who your audience is, what niche it is that you're targeting, and who your ideal viewer is, and so on. And so the more you start to use ChatGPT, the better the responses are going to personally be for you. And the easiest way to kind of get this all figured out is to just jump in and get started using it. And so what I'm going to do is share with you 3 different ways of how I use ChatGPT to help me weekly with my content creation, whether it's for YouTube videos or to create content go on social media. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly how I go about with the whole starting of planning out any type of video or reel or whatever it is that I'm doing. And so the first step, of course, is going to my outline that I've already created and written out inside of Google Docs. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and go on a field trip over there. Okay, so this right here is my video outline. So for example, I've already filmed this video, but I'm just going to go through the steps of how I go about using ChatGPT to assist me with making my video better, making my points better, and just getting more clear and concise. And so this right here, like I said, is my video outline there. So what I'll do is I will come up here, copy all of this, and then I'm going to take it and put it over into ChatGPT. So you just want to copy and select all of this. And so we're going to copy. We're going to come over here to ChatGPT. And so my first prompt for ChatGPT is going to be, can you summarize my YouTube outline, my points more clear and concise? And so now what I'm going to do is just paste my whole outline in here to ChatGPT. And then it's going to now give me a more concise and generated outline. So you just hit this little arrow right here. And then ta-da, it says, here's a revised clear outline for your video on personal branding. Okay. And so it's giving me YouTube video title idea, like what would be a good title for this video, building a personal brand, why it matters and how to start. That's pretty good. Now we can kind of dial that in even more. And so as you see, it's still going here, which is so cool. I love this about ChatGPT. It just makes your life so much easier being able to concisely be able to put your points in there and make it sound as polished as can be, because sometimes I'm pretty bad about getting long-winded on certain points and what have you. And so this just makes my life so much easier to make it a little bit more concise versus, going with what I initially had. And so once it gives me this, I'm going to go through here and read everything that it says to make sure it's exactly how I want it to sound and it hasn't taken too much of me out of it. And even if it does, these are just points for me to go on, and I do know what I was going to be talking about in those points. And so I'm just going to make sure it lines up with that. So then my next prompt to ChatGPT is going to be, can you give me 20 video title ideas, 56 characters or less for this YouTube video? And let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so as you see, it's listing out all of these different titles. What is a personal brand and why you need it? Build a personal brand that stands out. And so once you get a list of these, you can really go through and pick one that really stands out to you. And if you're like, oh, that's good, but I, want to tweak it a little bit more, all you have to do is come back down here and say, can you tweak number 5 to sound more like me and speak to my ideal viewer who are content creators? Now I'm going to put that in and see what we come up with here. And so you see right here, it says memory updated. Shamecca's ideal viewers include content creators, online course creators, and digital entrepreneurs. So it's remembering what I put in over the last several days of me just using this. So like I was talking about earlier, how ChatGPT gets to know you and learns you, it really does. And so you see that here. And so that's really cool. And then you can even go in and manage the memories here. And so because this is all stuff that it's taking information from that you put in. So I just think that is so cool. And so it says, here's a revised version of number 5 tailored to your audience. Why every digital creator needs a personal brand, or another variation could be why content creators need a strong personal brand. Ooh, that's good. So see, we're getting more dialed in and closer to what we want it to sound like and be us. And so that's what I absolutely love about it. And I just go like crazy, like with this, like, making stuff sound better and making my content process go a whole lot smoother, because I'm not trying to think of everything and I'm not getting so overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, well, did I say this? And did I cover this? And blah, 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 And so now that we've got the title ideas ironed out, we know that that's the one we're going to use as one of those. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go a step further and I'm going to have it help me with my YouTube description. Okay, so right here, I have an example of my description that I'm just going to paste in here that I have already created. And so I'm just going to put that in there and say, can you write me a YouTube description, 96 characters or less, for this video using points from my description that I have provided here. And let's see what it comes up with. Okay, here is a concise YouTube description for your video. Learn why a personal brand matters and how to build yours authentically as an entrepreneur. So that's good. It's straight to the point. And with your description, it doesn't have to be some super long description. It just needs to be at least 96 characters or less. And, get your point across as concisely as possible. But you also want to be sure you have tags and keywords that are going to kind of intertwine with both the title and inside of your YouTube description, because that's going to be part of that whole back end SEO optimization inside of YouTube. But we won't get into that, but you'll see me going through, making sure that's going to, happen as well in this video. And so the next thing I'm going to ask ChatGPT to do is to help me and give me 50 related hashtags and 50 related keywords to this particular video. Can you give me 50 related hashtags for this video in paragraph form? That's very important, because normally it will list it out and then you can't just easily go and copy and paste all of those over into tag area of where you're wanting to put them inside of YouTube, like when you're in the optimization process. So if you get this to where it's in just a paragraph format, and makes your life a whole lot easier. So let's see what we get. Okay, so perfect. It's coming up with all of the hashtags that are going to be ideal for this video. And you can even go farther and say, can you give me the best and most optimized hashtags from this list? And then there you have it. It gives you the most optimized hashtags from this list for your video on personal branding. And so then you're just kind of boiling it down to the bare basics, and the best picked hashtags work best for your video. And the next part that we want to focus on, since we know we're putting this on YouTube, is to get at least 50 keywords that we can put in the tags area on our YouTube upload. So I'm going to say, can you give me 50 optimized keywords, paragraph format, under 500 characters or less for this YouTube video? Maybe leave with a question mark. And so now I'm going to hit enter and see what we come up with. And perfect. So now see, you could totally copy and paste all of these, and you want to double check, and you could do that. You could double check through vidIQ and all of that. And like I said, I start here. I try to keep my process as lean as possible. And, I know that my whole back end SEO optimization isn't like completely perfect, but I like to go with what's working best for me. If I'm seeing results and I'm not seeing, a whole bunch of issues to where I'm like, I might need to really look deeper into something, I don't do that until I have to. And so anyways, this is the way I kind of go about it. And I just copy and paste all of this, and I just enter this all into the optimization area for the YouTube video. And then the next thing that I think is so cool is you can also get help with creating, say, like a thumbnail for your video. It could be a reel, it could be a video. It doesn't matter. I mean, the options are truly endless when it comes to ChatGPT. And so what I'm going to do is come on and just keep going through this right here. And I'm going to say, what would be a great thumbnail idea for this video? Let's just see what it tells us. Oh my goodness. Would you look at that? That looks so good. I love it. Now, this is all like AI generated. And so I could take something from this and kind of work to make it more me. And I'm not going to use, of course, this exact picture and all of that, but I could kind of style myself, with my little coffee mug and what have you, and look at the camera just like how this girl's doing, and just, change up my picture. And so it says here, here's a visual example of a thumbnail idea that aligns with your vision for attracting digital entrepreneurs, content creators, and online course creators. The setup highlights a cozy, relatable workspace and conveys an inviting and authentic vibe. And that's so me. And it's so funny because I've already uploaded thumbnails of my own that it can see my background. And so it already knows a lot of that from learning me over the last several months of me just using it, getting comfortable with it, all of that fun stuff. So that gives you an idea, especially when you're a visual person and you're like, okay, I want to be able to see visually, what does that look like? What would be, an option for this? And you could even go further and say, okay, that looks amazing. Could you give me 3 more options? That is really cute. I love it. It's so good. And they've even got the coffee, that would be a really good one. Okay. That's another one. So coffee props, and coffee is definitely me. You've reached your image creation limit. Okay. So it's because I've got the free version and I'm not going to pay for the, paid for version until it gets to a point where I'm like, oh, okay, I need to. But what happens, as you see right here, you can upgrade either to the ChatGPT Plus, or you can try again tomorrow after 4/28, and you can then get a few more options. And so now that we've got our options, the other really cool thing that I wanted to be sure that I shared with you here is, okay, so let's go back here to YouTube and let's go right into here. And let's say we want to know how to build a personal brand on social media. Now you can already see that these are topics that are searched for. And since I'm creating a video on how to create a personal brand and why a personal brand is so important, I need to basically do my research, do a little due diligence, look at what, the best videos that's out there. Let's see if the future, if he has some questions on this particular video. And the cool thing about this is you can come down here to I'm not even going to watch his video. I don't need to know what his video is about. I just want to see what people are asking in his comments section and what are some of their ahas that they're taking away from the video. So then that way I can be sure that I am covering that in my video, because that creates content gaps that's going to make my video a little bit better. And so I'm going to say, can you summarize these comments from this particular video and highlight any questions or takeaways got from this video. And so now what I'm going to do is paste in the comment section that I copied from that YouTube video, and let's see what we get. Here's a summary of the themes, viewers takeaway, and questions from the comments, key themes and takeaways. And this is, boom, listed them all out. And now it's going to be the questions and reflections, practical application of personal branding, balancing offense and authenticity, influence and personal background, all of those things. And so notable quotes and popular sentiment. Originality is a fool's errand. You'll grow accordingly to. So these are some of the quotes and popular sentiments that seems to be that the commenters kind of had, and all of that fun stuff. And so are there what's something I should really focus on in my video to fill a gap for viewers? See what we get. So your UVP, which is your unique value proposition, what makes you different? What do you have to bring to the table kind of thing? Creating consistent messaging, practical branding exercises, leveraging online platforms, overcoming fear and resistance, and blah, blah, blah. So now this lets me know, okay, here's where the content gap is, at least from this particular video here. And so I could take this and really, feed in a few points into my video to be sure that I'm covering some of the points that some of the people had questions about. So then that way I'm covering that in my content gap. But nonetheless, that is one of the ways that you can use ChatGPT to really help you with planning out any type of YouTube video, a short video if you wanted to. And so here's going to be a bonus for you. And so right here, I'm going to come to ChatGPT and say, can you create me a reel outline for this video as well? Also include 10 viral hooks, titles, 5 related hashtags, paragraph format, and a CTA for this reel that invites people to watch my full long form video about this topic. Okay, so let's see what we get. So it just did memory update, and it's got it even written out into real length 30 to 60 seconds. And it's basically it's using my outline that's up here, farther back up, way up the page where I pasted my outline in. And it's using that and it's basically creating the outline from anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds. And it tells you how long you should spend on each, the hook, the key points, and then your closing statements and your call to action. And so that is so amazing. And then now you've got your viral hooks that you can pick from. Just like I said earlier, if for some reason one of these viral hooks are not ideal for you, you can, basically dial it in even more and say, hey, can you make this sound more like me? Can we, tweak this a little bit, and just keep going at it, and you'll get it even more dialed in. So that's one of the things that I absolutely love about using ChatGPT is it really does help a solo entrepreneur be able to get more done faster. It's not a matter of us cheating or, using something like ChatGPT to do the work for us. Although, I mean, I guess you could to some degree, but it would become not authentically you. And I just want to be able to use my ideas, make them sound cohesive and concise as possible, because I'm very long-winded, and, really get it to help me on the days that I'm struggling. I mean, because there are days that I struggle mentally just because there's so much going on and you've got so many things that you're, responsible for doing as an online business owner and solo entrepreneur. And so it makes your life go a whole lot easier if you have something to where you can kind of go just back and forth and dial in the responses. And I'll be giving more videos and examples of how to use ChatGPT in several different ways. And if you have like a way that you're needing me to show how to use ChatGPT for maybe your specific niche or your industry, because I know sometimes it can be really tough trying to figure it out for your particular niche, your particular industry, just comment below and I will go through the comment section and definitely try to answer your question there or create a video on it for you. And so be sure to watch my next video where I'm going to be sharing with you on how to repurpose long form videos into short form videos such as reels or shorts.